Everyone's talking about West Roseville, but almost no one's talking about the master plan community that just changed the game for prices, floor plans, and future growth. If you're looking at new construction homes in the Sacramento area, you need to check out what Brookfield Residential is building out in West Roseville. We're talking brand new single family homes starting in the low 600s, going all the way up to just under $1 million. And this is not just a neighborhood. This is nearly a 700-acre master plan community called Amoruso Ranch. We're talking almost 2,800 homes when it's all said and done. 7 parks, trails, commercial space, open space, preserves, the whole deal.
And today we are taking you inside 2 of Brookfield's communities here. The first is Elora, which is their more attainable price point, and the second is Tesoro, which is their step-up semi-luxury collection. We're gonna walk you through the model homes, show you the standard features that come included, break down pricing, drive you around Roseville to show you what's nearby, and give you the full picture on whether this community is right for you and your family. All right, so right now I'm gonna take you through the plan for out here at Elora at Amoruso Ranch. Now, this is a 4 potential 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. It's 2,674 square feet. It has a flex space and it also has a massive loft. Now, this is definitely a beautiful home. So as you first come in, you're gonna notice that you still have the high ceilings downstairs. You have a nice long entryway, and then immediately off to my left is going to be the first downstairs bathroom and downstairs bedroom. So coming all the way back this way towards the front of the home is going to be your first downstairs bedroom. This is gonna be a pretty big size room. You've got a lot of space in here. You've got a queen size bed. You've got 2 pretty decent sized nightstands. You've got your sliding closet door on that side. Plenty of space to maybe add a dresser, do maybe a smaller bed, and add more furniture into this space. Now you do have a nice window that's gonna face towards the front of the home that's gonna let a lot of natural light in. All right, now walking out of this room towards this side is going to be your downstairs bathroom. You are gonna have a walk-in shower, a single vanity sink, and a toilet here. The nice thing is this is still a pretty wide area. So if you have somebody who maybe has limited access or maybe wheelchair capabilities, this is gonna be a perfect size bathroom for that person. Easy entry into the shower with the low lip down there. All right, now walking back down the hallway, towards my left is going to be a flex space. Now they have this flex space set up as an office, but if you wanted to make this home a potential 5-bedroom, this could be your 5th bedroom. So you could have 2 full bedrooms downstairs. Now, the other thing you could do with this space, besides an office, if you wanted maybe a workout room on the first floor, lots of different options that you could do with this extra space. You're still gonna have a window that's gonna face towards the side of the home, so not a ton of natural lighting in here, but you still have plenty of light with all the can lights and the big light in the center. Now, another option that you could do with this big opening here, if you wanted to, you could put double doors on this. You could put barn sliding doors, lots of different options that you could do if you wanted to close off this space and not have it open into the hallway. Now, coming down a little bit further off to my right is going to be your entrance in from the garage. Now, I love how they utilize the extra space here, gave you a little kind of mudroom area, nook area where it's a perfect spot to, store shoes, put your shoes on and off, maybe add a couple hooks, hang backpacks here, but a great kind of catch-all space that's not just another cabinet. Now, over off to this side, this is gonna be understairs storage. It's pretty deep. It goes down and then kind of turns around. So it is like that Harry Potter closet that we know kids love. And as you get towards the back of the home, my favorite thing about this specific home is the layout downstairs. I love that you don't have the stacked, kitchen, dining room, living room situation going on. You really have 2 separate areas or 3 separate areas with the kitchen over here. You've got the dining room over here. And you have plenty of space in this dining room to really put a big table. This is a pretty long table they have here. You could even probably go a little bit bigger if you didn't put a buffet down at the end, but you're also gonna have the nice open rail staircase right there. It's just gonna add a little bit to that luxury feeling down here. You are gonna have a really nice big glass slider that's gonna walk out towards the backyard. Now, as you come out here, you can kind of see you've got this really nice covered patio, that California room that we know a ton of you guys love. The nice thing is that this is a part part of the house because it's built into the house, so it's not like an upgrade option or something that you'd have to pay additional to get. But pretty big size space out here. You've got plenty of space. They've got big chairs seating out here. You could do an outdoor dining table. This is that perfect space for the indoor, outdoor, gathering, really celebrating with friends, having people over. The other thing you can see while we're out here is you've got a pretty decent sized backyard space, not too big, not too small. The nice thing is with the 2-story, it takes up less footprint, so you have more space in your backyard. Definitely enough space to do something small, quaint, easy to take care of. All right, now as we come back inside, we're gonna head on over towards the kitchen. I love how beautiful this kitchen is. You have a really big, nice center island that's gonna stare out into your living room spot. They have 4 bar stools here. If you did maybe smaller stools, you could probably fit 5 if they weren't as chunky like this. But you are gonna have really nice appliances, plenty of counter space. You've got a nice spot over here for like a coffee nook. Another option here, you've got the cabinets that go all the way up to the ceiling, really giving that elegant look. And then one of my favorite things, the walk-in pantry. So not a super big pantry, but still a nice corner pantry, plenty of space to store everything and actually see what you have in there, which is really nice. Now, another thing to point out, while we're not showing you all of the homes in today's video, one thing that we did notice at each of the different homes that we walked through is that you have a pretty good option of appliances. So what we're seeing in this home is gonna be KitchenAid. They also had a model here that was staged with Wolf, and then we saw another one that had Whirlpool. So, kind of judging by what we're seeing in the different models, all the different appliance options, you definitely have an option when it comes to if you'd prefer KitchenAid, Wolf, or Whirlpool. So again, probably different price ranges for the different appliance packages, but nice that you get an option if you want. The other thing you do see here is that we still have gas in this community, which is super nice. So if you're someone who likes gas, you can still get it out here. All right, and then walking out of the kitchen, we're gonna walk into this big, nice living room space. It's really cozy. You've got a lot of space. You have 2 massive coffee tables in here. There's a lot of different things you could do with this space. I love that they did a built-in on this side, so this is an option that you could do if you wanted to. If not, this would just be an open wall that you could do whatever you wanted with, or maybe arrange your furniture a little bit differently. You are gonna have a nice big window that's gonna look out towards the backyard. And then the cute thing over on this side is you're gonna have another window that's gonna look out towards that covered patio. So still a lot of natural light in here, a lot of space, great space for entertaining and having friends over. All right, now let's go check out that upstairs. All right, now coming upstairs, you're gonna land in this kind of open area. They have a little desk here, nice utilization of the space. And then coming over this way is going to be your loft. So this is a pretty big size space up here. Great spot for, a second living room, maybe a kid's playroom that keeps all the toys and mess out of the way from downstairs. You could do a cool theater room up here if you wanted to. You are gonna have a window that's gonna face towards the back of the home, letting natural light in. Another window that's gonna be over kind of by the stairs where we came up. So lots of natural light that's gonna be in this space. Now they kind of have it a little bit cramped, I think, with this coffee table in here, but a lot of different options, and you could rearrange furniture differently to really utilize this space even better. All right, now coming across this way, we're gonna walk towards the front of the home, and this is gonna be where all of your secondary bedrooms are upstairs. So we'll go this way first. This is gonna be the first of your secondary bedrooms upstairs. You're gonna have a nice kind of entryway into this bedroom. You're gonna have a nice big walk-in closet. So if you've got kids that have to share a room, this is probably the perfect room for that. Then coming back further, you're gonna see how big and spacious this room is. They have a twin size bunk bed in here. You could do a queen size bed coming out this way. You've got a nice window that's gonna face towards the front of the home. I like that the way that they did the closet over there, because you have a lot of different walls that you can really utilize how you put furniture on. You're not limited by where you can put furniture because you've got a sliding closet door in this room, which is really, really nice. So lots of different options of things that you could do in here. Still, again, you have the high ceiling, so you can definitely fit kids safely on a bunk bed in these upstairs rooms as well. All right, now coming out of that bedroom, we're gonna walk down this hallway, and this is going to be the upstairs bathroom that the 2 upstairs bedrooms are gonna share. So you are gonna have a dual vanity sink, which is nice. You've got plenty of space here for multiple kids to be brushing their teeth at the same time, getting ready for bed or getting ready for school. Then over here, you're gonna have the nice separation of space from this part of the bathroom. This is going to have a door here, and that would walk into your shower over tub, along with your toilet area in there. So it's nice that you have the separation of space, and really this can be utilized by multiple people at the same time. Now across the way from that is going to be the laundry room. So this is a pretty big size laundry room. It's pretty deep. You've got 2 of the big front loaders that some people love. You've also got this nice big counter space, perfect for folding. And then you've got a nice big sink right here. So the sink is probably an option if you want to add it, or it might just be cabinets across. But you're also going to have your media panel in here, which is really nice. You know, nobody's going into your master closet to, you know, work on that internet or anything. And then coming out of the laundry room down to the end of that hallway is going to be the last of the secondary bedrooms up here. So this one's kind of similar to the other bedroom, but a little bit differently. You're gonna have your sliding closet doors over here. You're gonna have one window that's gonna face out towards the front of the home. You still have the high ceilings and plenty of space for, you know, enough furniture in here, or, you know, kids' bed and all their toys. Everything can really be stored up here if you need it to. All right, now coming out, let's go check out that primary suite. So we're gonna walk across this open area loft space. You're gonna walk into this kind of hallway. You've got nice lower and upper cabinets, and then coming back further, this is actually right here is where the door into the bedroom would be. And then this is gonna be your primary bedroom. So you've got a lot of space. This is gonna actually sit over that living room area that we were in downstairs. So it's a pretty big footprint. You've got a nice, really big window that's gonna look out towards the back of the home. You've got one window on that side of the bed, letting a lot of natural light in. You still have plenty of space. You know, this is a king size bed. They've got a couch in here. They've got another chair over there. They've got another big dresser on that side. So lots of space for all the furniture, you know, conversation seating area if you need that up here. You've got big oversized nightstands, lots of space for all your stuff. And then coming this way into the primary bathroom, you're gonna have your walk-in shower. You're gonna have his and hers vanity sinks, the nice window that's gonna let natural light into this space, so this isn't that dark kind of dungeon hole spot. You're gonna have your water closet here, and then coming further back, this is going to be your primary walk-in closet. So this is a pretty deep sized closet. You could probably do a better closet system if you upgraded that or did that after the fact, but definitely space to really make this a great organized spot. All right, so next Lance is gonna walk you through another home here that's gonna be at their other side, other collection. And then we're gonna give you an overview of the area. We're gonna talk about pricing and incentives. So make sure you stick around for all that.
So if you're new to our channel, welcome. We are Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, where we help people buy, sell, and relocate to the Greater Sacramento Metro every single day. And a huge part of what we do is helping people relocate here and figure out what area is best for them. Whether you're coming from the Bay Area, Southern California, or from out of state, we know the communities, we know the builders, we know the neighborhoods inside and out. And today's video is a perfect example of why people are choosing Sacramento. Because what you're seeing is an example of what you just simply cannot get in the Bay Area or LA. But before we go in to see the next home, let me give you a little bit of the big picture about where we're at. Amoruso Ranch is a 694 acre master plan community out here in West Roseville, kind of on the north section, but when it's fully built out, there will be about 2,800 homes here. Now the master plan community includes 7 neighborhood parks, over 135 acres of preserved open space and nature preserve, walking trails through grasslands along creek corridors, 3 commercial parcels totaling about 51 acres for future shopping and dining, a fire station site, and a 9.6 acre elementary school that was identified in the original plan. Now, I do want to be totally honest and upfront with you about the school situation. Roseville City School District has said that the planned elementary elementary school here in Amoruso Ranch will not be built. There was a projected $59 million funding gap between the estimated $100 million cost and the $41 million in developer fees. So starting back in July of 2025, students here will attend Wenzelbraun Elementary School and Boljan Middle School. Transportation will be provided from the neighborhoods to the elementary and middle school, but you're still getting West Park High School, which is a big plus. And you're still getting Roseville City School District, which serves over 12,000 students across 21 schools. But you're not getting that walkable neighborhood elementary school like some of the other newer communities promised. So we always want to paint the full picture, the pros and the cons, and that's what we do on this channel. We're never sugarcoating things just to make the community look good. You guys deserve the truth so you can make an educated and informed decision. And the truth is, Amoruso Ranch still has a lot of things going for it. The sheer scale of this master plan community means that the builds over the coming years are gonna be awesome. You're gonna see more parks opening up, more trails connecting, commercial centers coming online, and a real sense of community forming as more of these families move in. That's the beauty of buying into a brand new master plan community super early on. You get the best pricing and you get to watch the community grow. Now, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, do me a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe button. We put videos out every single week covering the new construction neighborhoods and everything you need to know about living and moving to the Greater Sacramento area. And if you or somebody you know is thinking about relocating here, go ahead and share this video with them. It could save them a ton of time on the research. So let's go check out that next home. All right, for last home at Brookfield, we are gonna be at the Tesoro community. Now we're gonna show you the behemoth. Now this one is massive. This is a 5 to 6 bedroom, 4.5 bath with a loft, with a multi-gen suite, and it's over 4,000 square feet. So this one is going to be their biggest, their best house that they have in here. So the one thing that I love about this floor plan, when you first walk in, you have the nice vaulted ceiling that goes all the way up to the second story. It's just a nice luxury type feel that you get when you walk into some of these homes. So we've seen a couple of builders have it. I just like it. You can definitely tell the difference on the look and the feel of that home when you walk inside of it, because you're just kind of greeted with this nice open entry. So to my right, your left, you're gonna have your first kind of wing of the house. This first door is gonna be to your half bathroom. So this is gonna be the bathroom that all of your guests use when they come over for this home, for Super Bowls, because you have plenty of space here to entertain. And then as we walk in a little bit further into this room, this is gonna be that multi-gen suite. So I really like the way they have this set up. So you have a nice, never seen this actually before, nice skinny Bosch refrigerator. You have a nice little sink here, microwave. You have some cabinetry in here. You have a door for your own washer and dryer, stackable washer and dryer, which is really nice. You actually also have a sliding glass door that takes you out to the back of the home, which is super nice. So you have a nice walkway that goes all the way towards the back. Coming in here a little bit further, you kind of got your living room section. So you got a spot for your TV. They've got a small, nice 2-person love seat couch. And then you walk in even a little bit further, you are gonna have your sliding closet doors here. So a little bit smaller than what we've typically seen, but this is a little bit bigger of a closet door. I like how they put mirrors on it to make the room feel bigger on this side. You have a window, nice big panoramic window towards the front of the house. You have your main sleeping area. So this is probably a queen size bed with 2 decent sized nightstands on either side. And then around the corner here, you're gonna have your shower. So you're gonna have a single vanity sink. You're gonna have a toilet, and then you're gonna have a shower stall. So nice that this closes off from the rest of the room. And it's nice with this home, with how big this multi-gen section of the home is, it really doesn't take away from the rest of the home. So you're gonna see it here in a second, but this home is massive and it is nice. All right, so walking in here, you do have a little bit of a drop down of the ceiling. I kind of like that because then this goes up towards your left. This goes up towards the staircase. You are gonna have a nice little coat closet over here, so you don't lack any of the things that a lot of people really like. This is gonna be your entrance in from the garage. You're also gonna have some upper and lower cabinets for some extra storage. You could also do one of those little landing spots in that little section. Now coming over this way, across from that, you're gonna have your formal dining room. Now we typically don't see formal dining rooms in a lot of the homes that we show you because it's kind of one of those things that people only use at Thanksgiving and Christmas time, but it is one of those things where it is really nice to have that formal dining room area if you want that. We've also seen people just elect not to have this because of the rest of the space being so ample and big that they've turned this into another office. We've seen people turn it into a guitar room. We've seen people kind of enclose these doors, and they've done a lot of different things to this area. So You could have it as a formal dining room if you want. You can definitely turn it into a guitar room or a music room if you want to do that as well too. And then coming into the big part of the room is going to be the great room or the main living area. Now, this section of the home is massive. So typically we see spaces that are about half of this size in width. So this feels like it's got a lot more depth. You've got a nice big circular round table that's going to break up the two spaces. You could definitely do a longer rectangle table here if you want to, but they chose to do a circular one. And then you've got this massive kind of chef's kitchen. So plenty of storage. You can see the upgraded cabinetry in here where it goes all the way up towards the ceilings. You've got the glass at the very top, which is definitely an upgrade as well too. And then this is gonna be an example. Lauren talked about this in the first house, but you have the option for Wolf appliances. They've got a nice microwave oven, beautiful cabinetry, beautiful quartz countertops, backsplash. You've got the individual range. You still have gas appliance here. You have a nice, beautiful hood. Big island. You can definitely fit lots of people, lots of food out on this table, and whoever is cooking, whoever is in the kitchen, they can still be involved and still be a part of the whole conversation. I do love how you have a nice corner pantry, so still there to get all of your stuff. It's not too big and you can still see everything that you need to see in that pantry. And then they have the example of a nice built-in Sub-Zero refrigerator too. So the other thing that I really love about this particular floor plan is you do have a nice option for a massive patio. So this goes out probably another 10 feet from the slider, and then it goes down and it covers a big portion of the backside of the house. So the cool thing is in the summertime, it's also gonna provide a lot of shade. It's also gonna keep these rooms cooler, especially when it gets a little bit hotter in the summertime. Now you do still have some decent space back there, but keep in mind, this is their biggest floor plan. It's gonna have their biggest footprint. And so some of these lots may be, or may feel a little bit smaller. So, you know, we'll kind of peek out in some of these windows so you can kind of see what the size of the backyard is, but this is mainly all of your living is gonna be on the inside of the house. Now coming to the opposite side of the room is going to be kind of their great room or their great living room. So again, super wide, you've got big sectional couches in here. You've got a big coffee table in here. You got some end tables. This is a couch that is definitely set up to entertain. You have massive room in here. You have a wall and a small TV that could probably fit a 100-inch plus TV if you want to, even with the two framed windows on either side. So again, big room. I love the space in this house. We're gonna see the upstairs. You're gonna have even more space up there and more storage. So let's go check out that upstairs. All right, now coming up to the second floor, again, you have the nice options of like some open stair railing. You've got a nice, cool open railing towards the downstairs, which is really nice. Both are kind of upgraded features that make it look really elegant. The first spot that we're gonna talk about upstairs is gonna be kind of this massive loft. Now, we've talked about a ton of different things that you can do with these massive lofts. Now this house is definitely set up for a big family. You have lots of room, lots of space, and no one's gonna be on top of each other. So you can turn this into an upstairs living room, just kind of keep the two spaces separate. You could turn this into a study. You're gonna see all of these secondary bedrooms upstairs. They're all gonna have ample space, but this could be just a cool little upstairs teen kid hangout room that doesn't kind of take away from any of the bedrooms. Now walking into this first room, a couple of things that I really love about most of these rooms are gonna have their own bathroom. So, you know, you've got the downstairs generational suite, which is pretty cool. This one is a pretty decent sized room. You do have a window that's gonna face towards the front of the home. You've got your sliding closet door over here, pretty decent space. And then coming all the way over to this section, you're gonna have, this bedroom is going to have its own bathroom. So it's gonna have a single vanity sink, it's gonna have a toilet, and it's gonna have a shower, and it's gonna have a door here that can close off, keep the room and space separate. So nice that most of these rooms have their own bathroom. Now coming all the way across to the opposite side of the house, we're gonna go to your left, my right first. This is gonna be another one of the bedrooms towards the front of the house, and it's also going to have its own bedroom, sliding closet doors. This is gonna be really nice. It kind of has that Jack and Jill feel, but I'm gonna tell you why I like this one a little bit better. But you have the really tall ceilings. You have a window that's gonna be facing towards the front of the house. Windows are a little bit smaller in this particular floor plan, but you do have more wall space where you can do different things, right? They have a desk. You can also do a vanity over this side, dresser on that side, and you do have your sliding closet doors. Now, coming over this way, you are gonna have access into the bathroom from this particular room. So this is kind of like its own ensuite. You're gonna have two double vanity sinks. You're also gonna have a water closet that we'll show you from the other side that can be closed off, where you're gonna have your toilet and your shower. Now, coming across the hall from that, you're gonna have your laundry room and you're gonna have your other bedroom. Now, the cool thing is, before we go into the laundry room, this is that other bedroom. Now, some of the times we have people that have the Jack and Jills upstairs and they're completely sectioned off to the rest of the house, which means that if you're upstairs, if you have friends over, no one can go into one of the bathrooms without having to go through one of the bedrooms. I like this because you have the door right here, which sections it off. It's just a little short spot across the hall, but that means people, if you have kids with friends over and they're hanging out upstairs, no one has to go into anybody's bedroom to get into the bathroom right here. So this is kind of a cool thing. It feels like a Jack and Jill, but it does have some separation. Now, this one's gonna be set up a little bit more kind of like a kid's room or a nursery, but again, massive room. This has a day bed, nice and tall ceilings. You have your sliding closet doors on that wall, and you have a little bit bigger of a window, so a little bit more natural light coming in here. But all of these rooms are big enough so you don't have to take away from that upstairs loft or that upstairs kind of living room section. So super nice. As we come out of this door, you are gonna have a pretty deep laundry room. Now, this is gonna be cool. Lauren mentioned it in the first house, but you do have your media panel inside the laundry room, which means that the cable guy doesn't have to go in there. You have a nice farmhouse sink in here, which just kind of shows you some of the upgrades that you can do with Brookfield if you get in here at dirt. You have a nice spot for folding. You have your 2 front loaders. You even have some spots for probably some uppers if you want to do that, but a ton of space in here. So, you know, hooks, everything. We're gonna go down towards that primary suite and you're gonna see even more storage in this house, which is definitely set up. Now, as we walk this way towards the primary suite, we're gonna have a little bit of a stop off, which is gonna be kind of an interesting thing. We don't see it too often, but you have more storage for some more cabinets. And you're gonna have this whole kind of like, I almost call it an upstairs Costco closet. They put some wire shelving in here. You do have some spots to where you can put in some totes. If you kind of look back over here, you can put in some totes back here. So really cool storage. You've got plenty of space, plenty of stuff. So everything in this home is going to have its spot. Now, the primary suite, this is probably gonna be one of my favorite primary suites that we've ever showcased on this channel. But I like how this has kind of like its own office section in here where you have a nice desk, but it's also separated from the primary suite. Now, on this side of that wall is gonna be your main living area. So plenty of space, more space than probably people need in their primary bedrooms. You're gonna have a window that frames on one side of the bedroom, and then you are gonna have this nice big window that's going to not really look over to the backyard because this is the patio cover right here, but you are gonna have nice views outside of your back window. Now, coming into the primary bathroom, I really like how they put this kind of like barn door, you know, again, shows another option that you could probably do with the builder, but it's nice. It closes all the way if you have one, you know, spouse that has to get up a little bit earlier than the other while the other one's sleeping. And then coming in here, you're gonna have just the full-on luxury suite. So nice big shower. You've got the step for the women who like to shave their legs. You have a soaking tub. Typically we don't see, you know, even in the other floor plans that Lauren showed you over at Alora, we didn't see any soaking tubs in some of those floor plans. You got the dual vanity sink. You're gonna have your water closet right here. And then coming all the way in here is going to be a big primary master closet, which could typically be its own room. So stick around because we are gonna be covering pricing. We're gonna be covering a little bit more about the city of Roseville and what's close to this development, or what are gonna be your primary things that you're gonna be using for your Costco's, your grocery stores, what's gonna be the closest, the parks, and then we're gonna touch on all the pricing, and then we're gonna wrap a bow on this thing and take you home. All right, so now before we jump into the pricing and the incentives, let's zoom out and talk about what's around Amoruso Ranch, because one of the biggest questions that we get from people relocating here is, what is the area actually like? What am I gonna be doing on a daily basis? And the answer is West Roseville has a whole lot. Now, keep in mind, we do have a ton of resources and videos for you highlighting what it's actually like living in Roseville. Lauren and I both live in Roseville. We've loved West Roseville, Central Roseville, East Roseville. It's all good, but there are definitely some nuances and things that you should know about. Location matters just as much as the home itself. So we're gonna jump over here on the map and we're gonna kind of show you around what some of the things are, where are gonna be your nearest grocery stores, things to check out, things to do. All right, so jumping on to the map, what we're gonna do, we're gonna collapse this down. We've got Sacramento highlighted. We're gonna scroll all the way up here and zoom in on Amoruso Ranch. Now, Amoruso Ranch is going to be probably the furthest northwest corner of West Roseville that you could possibly be in. It was some old farmland that got purchased and it got bought out, and you are going to be pretty close to Sunset West Boulevard. You're going to be west of Fittyment, and you're going to be pretty much north of Blue Oaks. You're going to be north of the new Placer Valley Soccer Complex. You're going to be north of West Park High School. But Amoruso Ranch is going to be located out here. Now, there are a lot of plans for some mixed use commercial that are going to be coming in at different sections, but a couple of the things that I wanted to point out to you guys first and foremost is kind of where is your first and closest grocery stores, or the things that you're probably going to be needing on a daily basis. So at the corner of Blue Oaks and Fittyment, if we zoom in here a little bit further, you are going to have a Raley's One Market at the corner of Blue Oaks and Fittyment. Now, this is probably going to be your closest grocery store. It has a kind of a Raley's meets Sprouts meets Whole Food Nugget kind of vibe. So it is a little bit bougier. You do have a little restaurant, or you have a little deli, and you have a little bar in there where you could get beers after work. But there is going to be a big shopping center that's going to be here on the northeast corner of Fittyment and Blue Oak. So that's probably going to be your first and your closest grocery store. Now, there are a couple of things in here that are really good and really helpful. So on one corner, you are going to have an AutoZone. You are going to have a sushi restaurant. You're going to have a Thai restaurant. You're going to have an Arco, AM/PM, Papa Murphy's. You're going to have a dentistry place in there as well too. You can see the grocery store. You're going to have a Habit. You have a West Coast sourdough. You have a Chipotle, Habit Burger. You're going to have a little bit of a gym in there, but you have a lot of things at that corner. Now, across the street on the other side, you are also going to have a Sutter kind of urgent care center. So that's always really nice, especially when you have kids. It's always nice to have something that's really quick that's going to be on the corner. Now, if we go up a little bit further north, this is where you're going to have kind of Placer One. There's going to be a gas station out here, and all of Placer One is going to be out there. So you do have to come in. This is going to be where the new Placer Valley Sports Complex is. So tons of lighted soccer fields, super cool. Got some drone of that. And then you are going to have West Park High School. So you are going to be pretty close to West Park High School. And that is a beautiful state-of-the-art facility that was just opened up in 2021. So those are going to be kind of your three main kind of landmarks. And those are going to be really important things. Now, if you want golf, you do have golf over here. It's Sun City Roseville. You have a 9-hole and an 18-hole golf course. Now, at the next major street, you're going to have Pleasant Grove, which is going to run, kind of east and west. And that's going to take you to another grocery store, another new shopping complex that's over there on the corner of Pleasant Grove and Fittyment as well. So moving down a little bit further south, you're going to have a donut shop. You're going to have a Safeway. This is when it was still under construction. You do have a McDonald's that's getting put in there. So you have a lot of different shopping that's going to be at that corner as well. And then just south of that, you're going to have a CVS. Now, moving over a little bit west, kind of back over towards West Park and West Roseville, you do have a Mojo's, a Kitchen 747. You have a couple of different restaurants in here. You have a Mexican restaurant that's killer. So you have a couple of things out there if you're not really wanting to travel all the way into Central Roseville, or if you're not really wanting to go to the Galleria. So this is very nice. It's very intimate for all of the residents out in West Roseville. And you do have some other options too. If you wanted to go to, the Timber Creek Golf Course, there's a restaurant there that's attached to the golf course. Primarily it's going to be 55 and up people, but you can always go to that. And then moving in a little bit further south, and this is going to be the awesome one, you have this whole Baseline Marketplace that's opening up. So you have a Costco, just opened up probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's got a car wash station, which is unheard of for Costco. And then you're also going to have a couple of other things that are going down there. You're going to have a Target and a Home Depot. And this is going to make things very easy to stay within your 20-minute bubble, right? You've got a coffee shop, you've got a couple of restaurants, you've got 3 different types of grocery stores, you have a Costco. Really, if you were thinking about West Roseville and you were thinking about your 20-minute bubble that we've talked about on the channel, you have a lot of stuff there. You're also going to have another golf course at Wood Creek, and then shifting over one big block over to the right or to the east, you're going to have another set of grocery stores. So this was going to be the original set of grocery stores that were out here in West Roseville. So we do have a Nugget, we have a 24-hour fitness out there, we have another Safeway. Now on the opposite corner, Blue Oaks and Wood Creek Oaks, you have Doghouse, Chick-fil-A. So you have a lot more things that are coming into, if you're still going east, going in towards Central Roseville. Down here, you're going to have another Raley's, you're going to have another Starbucks, you're going to have a big Mahaney sports complex, super good in the summer. You've got an aquatic center. Now, the other thing I do want to point out, because we do have a lot of people that ask this question, especially for those of you guys who work downtown or who have to commute into downtown, there is a park and ride that's going to start you at Pleasant Grove. It's gonna funnel all the way into central Roseville. It's gonna go down by the mall, and then it's gonna take you guys into Sacramento for work. So there is an option for public transportation if you need to go from West Roseville to downtown Sacramento. So limited options. You do have some options though, and that park and ride is gonna be at Mahaney Park on the north side. Some more golf courses. But shopping and dining, when you're in West Roseville, which means you've got easy access to some of the best shopping in the entire region. Now, you do have over in central Roseville, you have the Galleria at Roseville, which is just a short, probably 10-15 minute drive. It's one of the largest malls in the entire Sacramento region, heck, even Northern California. You've got the fountains that are just gonna be just south of that. So over here, we've got the Galleria Mall, Macy's, Nordstrom's, all of your standard stuff. Fountains are just going to be south of that in this other beige area, and you're going to have a Whole Foods there. You're going to have a ton of restaurants, shops, Dave & Buster's. So you're definitely not in the middle of nowhere. I would say proximity wise, you're probably about 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 20 minutes from West Roseville and Amoruso Ranch, all the way out to some of the other things. You have Costco's, you have Topgolf, you have all of that stuff. Grocery stores, pharmacies, Target, Costco, all of the everyday stuff that you're gonna need is probably gonna be back on Fittyment, but it's all going to be within minutes. So when it comes to dining though, Roseville has really come into its own in the last several years. So you've got everything from local spots to major chains. We've got a Fleming's, we've got a Fogo de Chao, we've got Mikuni, which is our local sushi restaurant. It's gonna be one of those cities that you never run out of options for date night or for family dinner. Now, outdoor recreation for all the outdoor people watching this, Roseville is going to be incredible, and it's one of the most underrated things that we talk about in the entire city. So people think Sacramento area and they think Folsom Lake and it's just flat and it's hot. But Roseville has amazing trail systems, park network. It's got 2 aquatic centers. You've got Miners Ravine Trail, which is amazing for biking and walking. You've got multiple golf courses, including Wood Creek and Diamond Oaks, which are the 2 city run courses. You've got Sun City, Roseville, which we talked about a little bit earlier. Now, here's what really gets exciting about Roseville, and it's not about what's here now, it's about what's here coming in the future. Now, when you buy in a growing area, you're not just buying the home, you're buying into the future of that community, and West Roseville has a lot of runway ahead of it. So there's a project called Roseville Junction. There's gonna be a mixed-use hospitality and entertainment destination. We're talking beer garden, restaurants, and a 20,000 square foot outdoor venue for events and concerts. So this is slated to start opening in 2026, and then you've got all the future stuff that's going to be on the Placer Parkway over at Placer One, which is a major connector that's going to enhance all the regional access. All right, so quick pause. If you made it this far in the video, I already know you're serious and you're already out looking at home. So let me ask you, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you're leaning a little bit more towards. Is it Elora? Is it Tesoro? Is it not even Amoruso Ranch at all? And if you have any questions at all about these communities or anything about Roseville in general, drop those down in the comments too. We read every single one and respond to all of them. All right, now let's talk about numbers, because I know that's exactly what you're here for. You want to know what it costs. You want to know what type of incentives are there in HOAs? Of course, there's going to be Mellorews, but let's go ahead and break it down for you. So first off, we have Elora. Now, Elora has 4 different floor plans, and they are going to be starting off in the high 500s. Might as well be 6, but the high 500s, they have 4 different floor plans. They have a single story and a few 2-story floor plans. So their residence 1 is going to be starting off. They have a quick move-in that is at $599,990, and that is going to be an 1,840 square foot home, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. Not a huge backyard, but you do get some space. A lot of these are going to be on kind of 45 to 4,600 square foot lots, so the lot sizes aren't going to be super big. Next, you're going to have your residence 2. Now, the residence 2 is going to be 2,184 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms with a loft. They're going to have a price starting at $654 and going up to about $660. Again, 4,200 square foot lots. Next is your plan 3. That's going to be 2,309 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, again with a loft, a little bit bigger, 654, 664, and you're going to still be on 4,300 square foot lots. And then you have the residence 4, which is the floor plan that Lauren took you through. That's going to be their biggest floor plan. That was one of our favorite floor plans of the day. 2,674 square feet, 4 to 5 bedrooms with a loft and a flex space, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage, right around $720. So you have a good range from low 6s to low 7s, but definitely they're more affordable community. Now, pivoting over to the Tesoro community, which is the community that I showed you. Now, this community is going to have a little bit bigger of a lots. We're talking about 5,500, to 6,000 square foot lots. Now, their single story is going to be 2,339 square feet, a 3 to 4 bedroom with a 3 bathroom, 2-car garage. Those ones are going to be starting off in the high 6s, around 694, and going up to about $750 depending on options and upgrades. They have a residence 2, 2925 square feet, 4 bedrooms with a loft, 3 bathrooms, 3-car garage, $787 starting price on those. Now their residence 3, they didn't have any available as far as pricing goes. They do have an interest list. That seems to be a popular floor plan. That one's gonna be a 3,600 square foot, 5 bedroom with a loft, 4.5 bathrooms, and a 3-car garage. And then the floor plan that I showed you, and that one was my favorite, was their residence 4. We're talking a 4,000 square foot house, 5 to 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 3-car garage, a multi-gen unit, and those are gonna be starting off in the high 9s, 978 and 968. So a couple of 5,500 square foot lots. They have some quick move-ins. They have some ones that are gonna be down. They've got a lot of runway and a lot of building going on. Now their Melrose is gonna be right around $400 a month. And if you wanna know about any incentives, reach out to us. These incentives change all the time, daily, monthly, weekly, depending on if you're wanting quick move-ins or if you're wanting to build from dirt. All right, that is the full tour of Elora and Tesoro at Amoruso Ranch in West Roseville. 2 incredible communities by Brookfield Residential inside of one of the most exciting master plan communities in the entire Sacramento area right now. Let me just say this about Roseville real quick. There's a reason why this city keeps growing. Great schools, safe neighborhoods, incredible shopping and dining, easy freeway access to Sacramento and the Bay Area, and the quality of life that is really hard to beat for the price.
If you're coming from the Bay Area, imagine getting a brand new 4-bedroom home with a 2-car garage and all these features we showed you for under $700,000. That's not a fixer, that's not a condo, that's a brand new single family home. And if you need more space, Tesoro gives you that 4,000 square foot option for under $1 million. Try finding that anywhere in the Bay Area. It just doesn't exist.
So if you're thinking about buying new construction, or if you're relocating to Sacramento or Roseville is on your radar, we would love to be your real estate team of choice. We're Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, where we specialize in helping people relocate to the Greater Sacramento area from the Bay Area, Southern California, or out of state. We know the builders, we know the communities, we know the neighborhoods, and we make sure that you have somebody in your corner every step of the way. All of our contact information is gonna be down in the description and pinned in the chat. Our phone number is going to be popping up. If you want, you can call us, text us, email us, or better yet, go ahead and scan that QR code. You can directly book your one-on-one strategy session where we can go over your game plan, your timeframes, your needs, your wants, your must-haves, and put together a strategy that's going to be right for helping you make the move to the Greater Sacramento Metro.